What's up, guys? It's Island Guy 99, and today I want to talk about the difference between exotical and normal attractive men. Now, there's a lot of advice for, handsome men. There's a lot of advice going around and saying, like, oh, you have to be this way if you're handsome. Oh, you have to be uh, charming and you have to be this way. But a lot of the advice is like toward, the typical attractive man. So the typical attractive man is going to have, I think, is going to have a different experience from the exotical attractive man. And, when I say normal, it's like, the standard of attractive. But when someone, normal is when somebody fits in the lines of what's expected to be attractive. But like exotical is like kind of, it's a level, and I don't mean to say that anyone is better than the other person, but it's like a level above the typical. It's a more rare category among the attractive men. So, for an example, a normal attractive man might have brown eyes, full lips, and 4A hair. An exotical might be, let's see, dark skinned with green eyes and black hair. That's an exotical with full lips. That's an exotical. Or he might, an exotical could be fair skin with light eyes, with full lips, and very tall. That's an exotical attractive. And I think this is something a lot of people miss. They miss that there's a difference between just normal handsome and like exotical handsome. And when you're exotical, that's more rare, because it transcends the typical expectation of being handsome. You have traits that instantly stand out when you're exotical. It's almost like comparing a normal Lamborghini versus, maybe a limited edition Lamborghini. Like that's the difference. It's level to there's levels to handsomeness. So it's like, this is debatable, but I think this is a safe call. So there's, you know, below average, and I don't, nobody is better than the other person, but I'm just saying this on a rank of looks. There's below average, right? There's average, there's handsome, and then there's extremely handsome. So the extremely handsome people are like exotical. They're appealing, internationally. People like Jeremy Meeks or Steph Curry or like this guy on the picture right here on Pinterest. Those are exotical attractive men. Very, very unique, very striking. That's an exotical. But handsome men, regular handsome men are just like, they blend in a bit more. They're the normal standard of being attractive. So that, I just wanted to really talk about the difference between the normal and exotical attractive man. And also, I want to say this, that each are going to have different experiences with women. And what I mean by this is the normal attractive men are probably going to be more approachable. Women might be intimidated by them, but they're a little bit more approachable than the exotical attractive man. Women aren't going to approach the exotical attractive man because they're going to feel like he's out of their league, right? They're going to be like, wow, this guy is so handsome. I'm afraid to even approach him. Like he looks almost like an alien. He looks like a handsome alien. Like he's not of this world. Like that's the difference between just, attractive and very attractive. So like that's why I think the interactions, that each both types of handsome men, it's gonna be very different because when you're exotic, people say, oh, you can get all the women in the world, but women are gonna be very intimidated, especially if you have like light eyes and full lips and you're like extremely attractive. they're Women aren't gonna approach you like that. A lot of people think they're gonna approach women aren't gonna approach you like that. Some might, but I mean, you have to be a very strong person to attract, to approach and talk to an exotical handsome man. So you know people believe that like extremely handsome men have whatever women they want, and they do, but also remember, I mean, people think that exotical men have like all these women flocking to them, but in reality, a lot of women are intimidated and they're not going to approach you like that. And it's because of insecurities, women's insecurities. It's because of a lot of people are just going to think that, as an exotical, that you're out of their league. They're going to be like, wow, this guy's so handsome. I'm nowhere near this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that as the means to say that exoticals are better than everybody else. That's not true. We're just, exoticals are just more unique. That's all it is. And the more unique you are, the more rare you are. And people see that rareness and it intimidates a lot of people, men and women. And it comes, and also jealousy is going to come from men and women because you're an exotical attractive person. So as a result of being an exotical, a lot of society isn't gonna, they're gonna either be attracted to you or they're gonna be intimidated or jealous by you because you have such these rare traits that most of the world would, you know, most of the world would love to have those traits. Men and women, they would love to have green eyes. They'd love to have light eyes and full lips. People pay millions of dollars just to get surgery because of looks. Men and women. That's why women get lip fillers. That's why women have contacts. That's why the beauty industry is a $1 trillion industry, because they want the traits. They want the traits, the exotical traits. Okay? So that's what I'm here to say, that being an exotical is exceptionally rare. And it's a rare type of attractiveness, it's a rare type of attractiveness, and you're rare among not only the collective, but even among other attractive men. You stand out. So as a result of an exotical standing out, even the normal attractive men are gonna they're gonna envy you. It's gonna be very rare that someone really like embraces you and sees you for you, especially when you're an exotical. So you have to learn how to embrace your uniqueness as if you're an exotical. You have to learn how to be comfortable in your skin. You have to be comfortable with having no friends, being isolated. It's going to be hard to find friends as an exotical. It's going to be hard to date as an exotical because you stand out so much that it comes with a lot of people are going to be intimidated or jealous or just going to objectify you. So that's the reality of like being an exotical. And that's what I really wanted to talk about today is the difference between normal attractiveness and exotical attractiveness. So that's what I wanted to talk about. So thank you guys for coming on today, and I hope everyone has a great day, y'all. It's Island Guy 99. Peace.